So businesses and increasingly regulators are focusing on organizational culture and recognizing the links between the culture of an organization and business success.
Yes.
I often hear from learning and development professionals that they're feeling a bit left out of the
Yes.
culture discussion.
Yes.
How can L&D assert itself more and become more part of the discussions around organizational culture?
I think there's a kind of bigger issue, which is that L&D can be shut out of talent, can be shut out of onboarding, shut out of leadership, and shut out of all of the things that you've said as well, and culture and so on. Now, if that is the case, you've got reducto L&D doing, and the worst is L&D equals compliance. I wouldn't want to be in an organisation where that was true. How do you get into the cultural discussion? You have to demonstrate value. You have to demonstrate you understand it, and you have to demonstrate what you can contribute to that discussion. And if you sit back and wait to be counted, you're wasting your time. You've got to be proactive. So I think learning and culture are deeply, deeply linked. And there's masses of research evidence to suggest that. So the companies who do the O&D, organizational development equals culture equals internal comms, they go down that path and shut out L&D and making a big mistake. But it can be a mistake based on misunderstanding, not on willfulness. And if it's based on misunderstanding, then you have to argue what the contribution of learning can be. You're not the full solution, but you're 100% certainly part of the solution. And you shouldn't let that happen. You should be lobbying and moving and manoeuvring to stop that happening.
I think that's where oftentimes L&D professionals have a hard time because
Yes.
they don't know how to get to the C-suite, how to make the case. And I know you spoke earlier about big data and learning analytics. And I'm just wondering if there's something in that about how L&D professionals can mine that data and use it in a meaningful way to convey their value and what they bring to the organization.
Yes, yes. Let me give you one example of an insurance company. The insurance company used Twitter and Facebook. They lobbied and analysed all of the customer data coming through, and they did phone call questions, text message questions. They got loads of data back, so they were much more intimately involved with customers than they'd ever been in the past. And the L&D person asked to look at that data, say, could I look at that? And what are the conclusions? And they worked with that data, and what it was clear was that there were some significant problems with the sales force that the company had not picked up, that mixed messages were being given, and therefore bad customer experiences were being had. So L&D said, we think we can fix these issues with the sales force, and we should see an uptick in sales and a downtick in complaints. Can we do that? They were given the money by the company. They didn't use their own budget. They put it through. It was an amazing success. Exactly what they proved was right. Now, if they hadn't gone to look at the data and say, can we see the company filtered through the eyes of the customer, rather than that's nothing to do with us, we have to gather our own data. So just be aware of what exists, and most people will help. If you go into NAB in Melbourne, on the ground floor, they've got their social media room, which is a box with massive TV screens, which tracks 24 hours a day, every Facebook comment, every Twitter tweet about NAB, customers, businesses, and they're onto something. They're onto it way before it's become a big trend. Now, they love bringing different parts of the organisation to sit in that room for a day to try to understand the data that's coming in and what you can do about it. And I'm saying to L&D, get in there. You're just as important as marketing or compliance or product sales or whatever it might be. Get in there and see how the bank is experienced by the outside world. And then you react in a learning way, not a marketing way or a compliance way or a sales way, to that exact same data, because it's there for everybody. And most organizations are glad and grateful that L&D wants to leverage that data, and they don't say keep out. And they're surprised often because they think, what, I thought L&D was data light, data free zone, and it shouldn't be, and it needn't be.